people per minute have been domestically abused in an intimate relationship, according to the ncadv.org? I'm here to talk about domestic violence and why it's important to speak about it. When I was young, getting into the dating world, I always had a great fear of being in a domestically abused relationship. I always thought, why doesn't she leave? It's easy to leave. She's stupid to have stayed. However, once I met one of my really close friends, my whole outlook changed. We've grown closer, and she started sharing some of her deepest secrets, and one of those secrets happened to be domestic violence. When she was 17, she was abused in her very first serious relationship to her. That led up for 3 years, and she finally left. Everyone in the audience has, is, or will be in an intimate relationship with someone else, so domestic violence could happen to you. Domestic violence does not discriminate against white, black, Puerto Rican, Mexican, rich, poor. It happens to everyone. I'm going to talk about what domestic violence is, the different signs of domestic violence, and why don't the women leave. All relationships have problems, but when does those problems become unfixable? What is domestic violence? Domestic violence comes in many different forms. Whenever people think of domestic violence, they always think women are being abused by men. However, men could be victims of domestic violence too. According to ncadv.org, domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault caused by an intimate partner. According to justice.gov, the different forms of domestic violence are physical, which includes hitting, punching, biting, scratching; sexual, which can include your abuser having sexual relations with you while you're awake, forcing you, or while you're sleeping; emotional, which can be like killing your pet, which will cause emotional damage to you; or psychological, including mind games. I always tell myself that actions speak louder than words. There are many different signs of domestic violence. According to the New Hope for Women, different behaviors that can possibly indicate an abuser is jealousy, controlling behaviors, isolation, and unrealistic expectations. Now, your abuser isn't going to straight up tell you, I'm going to isolate you, I'm going to start having controlling behaviors, and I'm going to start being jealous, or I'm just going to start having unrealistic expectations. However, they'll show it in many different forms. Unrealistic expectations, you can, for example, you can live 20 minutes away from your job. However, once you get off work, they expect you home in 15. If you're not home in 15, they'll be upset. Isolation. They'll try to isolate you from your family, friends, so that no one can know that you're being abused. They start controlling you, controlling what you wear, where you work, who you hang out with, and then they just be jealous. Most abusers have cycles of abuse. Most men who are abusers have witnessed or been abused when they were a child. So once they get older, that cycle of abuse continues. They'll tell you anything that they think you want to hear to stay. They'll say a lot of I'm sorries. I'll do this to make it up to you, when they're really just saying that so that they can continue the cycle. It's not always easy to get out. So a lot of people ask, why don't the women leave? However, it's not always easy to get out. A lot of victims feels like they need to help their abuser. They feel like it's their fault when it's not. And another main reason why a lot of women or men don't leave their abusers is because of the dangerous consequences that may follow. Two of the main dangerous consequences include stalking. Your abuser could be in a whole nother relationship, but if they're so mentally involved in you, they will stalk you even when they have a new relationship. And in a more serious consequence would be death. A lot of women are killed by their domestic abuser after they decide to leave their relationship. Domestic violence is not a topic that should be kept quiet. Talking about domestic violence could potentially save someone else's life. Educate others on what domestic violence is, the signs of domestic violence, and reasons why women or men stay with their abuser. During the duration of this speech, approximately 140 people have been abused by their intimate partner. My name is Raven Burns, and thank you.